Guys are having amazing day to talk about what's up with the XRP community now. Market pick speeds at around 39 cents, guys. Wow. So today's video is about it's about to be bearish but bullish at the same time. Okay, so listen very carefully. Now, somebody commented yesterday and asked, why are we talking about the war these days, right? It's because this will all lead towards what, guys? The collapse, right? The implosion of the system. And it seems like the climax of all these events will be what? A nuclear war, so to speak. Or perhaps, guys, I'm not sure, but let's talk about it. And in my next video today, I'm very excited to make that one, guys, because we're about to expose their agendas and why this is all happening in the first place. So pay attention to today, guys. But next, before we jump into some value only. Now, from Biden, United States with Ukraine for as long as it takes.
Is priceless. It's worth fighting for as long as it takes, and that's how long we're going to be with you, Mr. President, for as long as it takes.
There you guys go. Now, if we go up here, basically, next thing, NATO chief Putin must not win, right? So they're all attacking what, guys? Russia at the end of the day, right? Ukraine must win this war.
And let there be no doubt, the commitment of the United States to our NATO alliance and Article 5 is rock solid. And every member of NATO knows it, and Russia knows it as well. An attack against one is an attack against all. It's a sacred oath. Sacred oath to defend every inch of NATO territory.
Oh, and by the way, don't forget, Mr. Poole did warn us of what? Possible nukes and whatnot, right, guys? Today we're going to be talking about all this stuff, so pay attention. Now, breaking, Putin delivers his State of the Union speech, a final nuclear warning against the West. You cannot make any of this stuff up, guys. Basically, in that video, he states, the West wants to hit the values of the traditional church and the family with that right there. In the sacred books, marriage is between a man and a woman. In the United States, they want a gender-neutral God, want to destroy people's identity. We have to defend our children from this influence, right? So that's it. This is a very interesting speech. I'm not going to play it because this video will be a long video. So I'll have all the links. I'll show you so you guys can investigate further. But is this just some type of illusion tactic to further push what? That these people are all against each other, but in fact, maybe they're all on the same team, same side, right? Now, if you go all the way down here, we just got confirmed, guys. Listen to this.
The elites of the West are not hiding their goals. They are, as they say, trying to inflict a strategic defeat on Russia. What does that mean to us? That means they want to end with Russia. They want to turn a local conflict into a phase of global conflict.
There you guys go, pulling everyone. Gregory Mannarino stated that, guys, and it seems like it's coming into fruition, right? Why? To further push. This all accelerates one purpose. This is all happening for one purpose. We said it before, they don't care if there's bloodshed, right? It's all pointing towards the collapse. I'm not making any of this stuff up, guys, and this is why we're talking about this. Remember, after the collapse, what happens? The new financial system goes live with XRP. That's my opinion, though, right? Putin also announced that Russia is suspending its participation in the Strategic Offensive Arms Treaty. The treaty was signed in 2010. It came into force the following year and was extended in 2021 for 5 more years after Joe Biden took office. The treaty caps the number of strategic nuclear warheads that the United States and Russia can deploy, and the deployment of land and submarine-based missiles and bombers to deliver them. There you guys go, right? Further pushing what? This nuclear talk and whatnot. At the end of the day, it seems like it's extended to February 4th, 2026, right? That same time frame, so to speak, about the collapse, guys, 24-25, in my humble opinion. This is fascinating stuff. Putin said that the United States is developing new types of nuclear weapons. If the United States holds tests, then we will too. It's they who have started the war, and we are using force to end it. You guys can see. Together, Russia and the United States hold about 90% of the world's nuclear warheads, right? Cannot make any of this stuff up, guys. You guys ready? Because I'm not. Well, we were preparing for all this, right? Throughout the years. Now, Putin, the West started a war against Russia. WW3, listen to this.
The goal of the West is unbridled power. They have already spent more than $150 billion to supply weapons to the Kiev regime. Just compare. According to the Economic Cooperation and Development Organization, to help the poorest countries in the world, G7 allocated in 2020 and 2021 some $60 billion. Do you see this? They spent 150 for the war in the poorest countries. Allegedly, they are taking care about. They have allocated only 60. And they demand to follow them blindly, those countries who they pay to, and how they can talk about sustainability, about the environmental development. Where has it gone? And they are not stopping this flow of money to support the war, and they are spending more money on coup in the other countries all across the world. The goal.
They have to, right? They have to, though. The reason being is because this inflates the debt. Once again, guys, right? It cannot stop. They cannot stop printing at the end of the day. We told you guys this, right? And it's on your expense as well, because that means inflation skyrockets. All these things take place, guys, right? Why are all these things happening right around a lot of Ripple and XRP talk? Think about that, guys, right? Or cryptocurrency talk in general, right? Now, Justin, former President Trump, says World War III has never been closer than it is right now. Listen to this, guys.
World War III has never been closer than it is right now. We need to clean house of all of the warmongers and America last globalists in the deep state, the Pentagon, the State Department, and the national security industrial complex. One of the reasons I was the only president in generations who didn't start a war is that I was the only president who rejected the catastrophic advice of many of Washington's generals, bureaucrats, and the so-called diplomats who only know how to get us into conflict, but they don't know how to get us out. For decades, we've had the very same people, such as Victoria Nuland and many others just like her, obsessed with pushing Ukraine toward NATO, not to mention the State Department support for uprisings in Ukraine. These people have been seeking confrontation for a long time, much like the case in Iraq and other parts of the world, and now we're teetering on the brink of World War III. And a lot of people don't see it, but I see it, and I've been right about a lot of things. They all say Trump's been right about everything. None of this excuses in any way the outrageous and horrible invasion of Ukraine 1 year ago, which would have never happened if I was your president, not even a little chance. But it does mean that here in America, we need to get rid of the corrupt globalist establishment that has botched every major foreign policy decision for decades, and that includes President Biden, whose own people said he's never made a good decision when it comes to looking at other countries and looking at wars. We have to replace them with people who support American interests. Over our 4 years in the White House, we made incredible progress in putting the America Last contingent aside and bringing the world to peace. And now we're going to complete the mission. The State Department, Pentagon, and national security establishment will be a very different place by the end of my administration. In fact, just into my administration, it'll be a very different place, and it'll get things done, just like I did 4 years ago. We never had it so good. I am the president who delivers peace, and it's peace through strength. There was a reason we had no conflict. There was a reason we didn't get into wars, because other countries respected us. I entirely built, all right from the beginning, rebuilt our military. It's a big reason for that. They didn't want to mess around with the United States, and now they're laughing at us. We could end the Ukraine conflict in 24 hours with the right leadership. At the end of my next 4 years, the warmongers and frauds and failures of the senior ranks of our government will all be gone, and we will have a new group of competent national security officials who believe in defending America's vital interests above all else.
We could end this conflict in 24 hours, guys. Who else stated this, guys? Now, it's because these are all banker wars at the end of the day, folks, right? For them to push a certain agenda, we already know the game plan. What's happening, right? Listen very carefully. Now guys, there's a fun part of XRP and the XRP community. Now, this is quite interesting, so listen to this. From Kang Space, Delta coming soon. 227, right? So listen, look at this, guys. The link towards ready.gov/nuclear explosion. Scare event, right, Mr. Poole? Right, Mr. Poole? And then you guys can see right here. Wait, look at that. 227.22. Could this be a 1-year delta? Wait a minute. Nuclear explosion, huh? Again, guys, I mean, Mr. Poole did warn us of what's upcoming, and it seems like it could tie in. Well, not could, but it definitely will tie in with the collapse. It may not take place in the 27th, but maybe in the year 24, perhaps, or 25, right? So let's pay attention. Now, it seems like Trump will get a win, or will win from this whole situation. Why? Because listen to this. Check this out, guys. I mean, we just cannot make any of this stuff up. You have to pay attention. If you guys like the video, really appreciate it.
Danger than it's ever been in because of a word known as nuclear. Nuclear is so devastating that we don't even want to talk about it. And that was a word that was never supposed to be mentioned. You have two N-words, neither of which should ever be mentioned. I said that once. I said, oh, what a terrible thing to say. No, you have two N-words. You know what the one is, but the other is the nuclear word. Not supposed to ever be mentioned. Ever, ever, ever. It's mentioned every single day now. Every single day they talk about, will this end up in nuclear war? We're on the precipice of a disaster, the likes of which this world has never seen. This will make World War I and World War II like baby stuff. Danger.
This will make World War I and World War II like baby stuff, guys. Oh my. Again, this collapse will be worse than the 1929 bubble that took place back then, guys, right? Or the crash that happened back then. It's going to be worse. Again. Oh, and we just got confirmed. What does that say right there? Club 47 welcomes President Donald J. Trump, right? Club 47 as well. 4 plus 7 is 11. How many times have we seen from Mr. Poole? 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. And this is why we talk about the situation that's happening right now, guys, right? Because out of all of this, it all ties in with what's a new financial system from Mr. Poole. Look at this right here. And a connection to CoinDesk. Bank of Russia is planning to pilot its digital ruble CBDC project in April, right? You guys can see the exact same image, by the way. You don't say. Of course, guys, it's all in front of our damn faces. And one last thing, guys, about the Mr. Poole explosion thing, right? The explosion image we have seen before, 16, 21, and then 30, right? What is that about? Do you guys know? I don't know, but pay attention, right? Well, this is how we know we're getting very close to the climax, guys. Now, the fountain for Tasty No Concern Baba Cucks just got word from Big Bird, Supreme Court it is. Now this is an interesting image right here. 2023 Ripple win, right? From 2023 to 2025, look at that big drop, perhaps. Could it be? Maybe. I do believe, guys. I do believe that all these events are going all these events are about to go fast and faster and fastest, right? Follow the timeline, folks, because we guys, from what I could see, we're getting very close.